Hey y'all, thanks for stopping by. So, over the last few weeks, I'm sure your news feed has been dominated with updates about this Donald Trump trial in New York State. The payments he made to Stormy Daniels and how that was made with campaign funds, and he's been convicted. 34 counts against the guy at this time. The sentencing still has to happen, and while normally in these sorts of things you wouldn't see someone get any kind of jail time, maybe house arrest or fines, stuff like that, considering the nature of this trial and Trump's sort of rhetoric towards the judge and the judge's family, it's really up to the judge what kind of sentence you get. And let's be honest, for normal people, when we go to trial, we kind of have to be really nice to the judge so they can be favorable towards us. I don't know if Donald Trump thought he was above the judicial system, but maybe that'll come to bite him. I'm not sure what kind of sentencing he'll get, but we're on to a new trial this week involving not the former president, but the sitting president's family. Hunter Biden is in court right now for a gun charge. And you buy a gun, you have to fill out this paperwork called the 4473. Basically, it's part of your background check. And you write down who you are, identifying information, and then there's some probing questions about your mental state, your faculties. And the question that Hunter Biden lied on is about taking illicit substances or illegal substances, being under the influence. And unfortunately, a lot of people do lie on this. If you smoke marijuana, even with the changes that are being made right now about scheduling from being a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3 drug, you would still be lying on this form if you said that you didn't take illicit substances. So he did break the law. And frankly, I'm a person who believes the law should be handled fairly. If you do something wrong, you should have to pay for it. I find it very I'm not surprised by it. It's upsetting, but not surprising that while Trump was on trial, there was this big wave of people pushing this line about weaponizing the courts and, using the judicial system to go after your political opponents, about Biden trying to lock Trump up so he doesn't have to run against him in November. There was all this hubbub about that, but when Hunter Biden's on trial for doing something wrong, now it's, do the crime, do the time, lock him up. He did something wrong. And admittedly, this is a little different because Hunter Biden isn't the actual president. So maybe that's why they're not so up in arms about this. But even still, Trump's team, all his supporters for the past 8 years ran on lock her up, what about her emails, this and that, still going on about Hillary Clinton. And, she stood on the line for 13 hours in front of Congress to testify and couldn't pin her on any crimes. Trump was held accountable in front of a jury of his peers. A judge is going to sentence him for his crimes. This is how the judicial system works. I would hope the same thing happens with Hunter Biden. If you break the law, you should be held accountable, right? Shouldn't be different depending on what color tie you wear or who you make donations to, what political party you're affiliated with, or who your dad is. I don't know. I want the law to be handled even and fairly amongst everybody. I hope you want that too. As far as Hunter's trial goes, the plea deal he tried to get a few months back fell through, so this is going to actually go to big boy court. We'll see what happens with that. Again, he did violate the law. I think the disposal of the firearm is a bigger problem, but this is about the error on the form. So he did do that wrong, so we'll see what happens with that. I don't think he'll go to jail, probably pay some fines, but again, you break the law, something should happen about it. The court should uphold the law even and fairly. And yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. And until we get more news, y'all try to have a good day.